Today, I'm going to show you how I made this shiplap wood sign. I've got some of these tongue and groove boards. I'm just going to rip off the groove and the tongue so that they're square again, and then I'm going to go about cutting in the half lap, which is what makes the shiplap.
I used the drum sander to get all of the pieces to a consistent thickness. In order to get the half lap, find half of the thickness of your material. Then, mark that on the end of the board in two different directions, just as you see here. You can use those marks as reference. As always, it is a good idea to do some test cuts on some scrap pieces before trying it on your actual pieces. Then, enjoy the satisfaction of them coming together in the right way. The tops of both boards should be flush. I painted the boards at this stage so I would not have much trouble getting into the groove later. I used a very light gray color for the shiplap boards.
I am just using this combination square as my width to separate and give me that shiplap look. So I'll tack one side like this with the furring strip once I get that set, and then I will go in and tack the other side.
Next, I added the French cleat to the back of the sign. Remember to get this on very square to the rest of the piece. I didn't get it very square, so you'll see later how that comes into play. Next, I cut some boards one at a time for the frame pieces. I would measure, hold it up to the side, mark where the next cut needed to be, all the way around. Since I wanted the frame to be white and not the same gray, I decided to paint these pieces before adding them to the sign. One thing to note here, be sure that your frame pieces are going all of the way down to the surface that it's sitting on. You want the frame to hide those boards that you put on the back of the sign. Then, I patched the nails with some wood filler, sanded them down, and gave those parts some more paint. These little artist paint brushes do a great job for touch-up work. Now time for the laser engraver. I cut out all of the hand-drawn elements from some black acrylic and all of the letters from maple plywood. Then, I painted all of the letters with some of my logo color. Finally, it was time to assemble the sign. I had a picture of my logo on my phone sitting right beside me so I could make sure to get it correct. I started off using E6000 adhesive to secure the pieces, but it was a goopy mess in this instance and it was drying out really fast. I thought I could paint it on with a little brush, but that was not working well, so I turned to CA glue. That worked out quite well. All that was left was to install it. When I put the French cleat on the wall, I was originally putting the level on it. However, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I had not put the cleat onto the sign itself in a square way, so it was off. The easiest fix was to take the piece off of the wall, adjust it down on one side, and hang it back up. It was a little bit of guesswork, but it worked out in the end.
So this sign is something that I've been wanting to make for a while, just for some decoration. I happen to use my logo. If you want to see a faux shiplap treatment for a wall, I have another video and I'll link that below. I did that video a while back and we did that in our master bathroom and in our kitchen, and it's a nice look also. This is actual shiplap to where the boards are half lapped over on top of one another, and I built this all out of scrap. It's really easy to do, and I think if you wanted to spruce up an area and put a new sign, you don't have to make it this large. You could do it too. Let me know in the comments below if you have questions about it or if you would have done it differently. I really appreciate you watching. If you would, go ahead and get subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss any of my future updates. Thanks again. I'll see you real soon.